You're not spending money. You're spending pieces of your life.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something pretty fundamental from your money or your life. It's this idea that money isn't just, coins and bills.
Exactly.
It apparently operates on multiple levels. Understanding these could really shift how you think about your finances.
That's the core of it. We usually just see the surface, right? The
Mm.
earning, the spending, the saving, maybe. Yeah. But the source argues there are these deeper dimensions, often invisible, but shaping everything. So our mission today is to unpack those layers, see what's really going on.
Okay, let's do it. So more than just cash. What are these different levels the source talks about?
Well, it lays out four, kind of moving from the outside in. First, there's the one we all know, the material.
Right, the tangible stuff.
Yeah, cash, bank accounts, investments, debts.
Yeah.
The numbers, the physical reality of it.
Makes sense. What's next?
Level 2 is psychological. This one's much more personal. It's about your specific feelings around money, your fears, your desires, maybe your anxieties.
So like, am I naturally a spender or a saver? That kind of thing.
Precisely. And why? Where do those impulses come from? The source suggests our background, our personality. It all feeds into this layer.
Okay. Material, psychological. What's
Mhm.
level 3?
That's the cultural level. This is bigger than just us. It's society's beliefs.
Mm.
Think about messages like, more is always better, or the constant push for economic growth.
And the source mentions something called Jobism.
Yes, exactly. How we tend to rank people, assign status based on how they make money or how much. It gives examples like high school reunions where the conversation turns to salaries, or how we might subconsciously view, say, a teacher versus a doctor differently, partly based on income expectations.
I can see that. That societal pressure is real.
Definitely. And then there's the fourth level,
Which is
life energy. And this is where, for me at least, it gets really, really interesting.
life energy. Explain that.
The core argument is that money, fundamentally, is just a representation of something you trade your life for, your time, your energy, your vitality. Every single dollar earned costs you a chunk of your finite life.
Wow. Okay, wait. So it's not just this costs $50. It's this costs X hours of my actual life.
That's exactly the reframing the source pushes for. It even suggests calculating your real hourly wage.
Real hourly wage. How's that different?
You factor in everything related to the job, not just the hours you're paid for, but commuting time, costs like special clothes or lunches, maybe even the time you need to unwind afterwards.
So your actual take-home, life energy-wise, might be way lower than you think.
Could be, yeah. And then the question changes, right? It's not, can I afford this widget?
It becomes...
Is this widget worth, say, 2 hours of my precious life energy? It hits differently.
It really does. Which leads to a big question. If we focus only on the material, just stacking up dollars, does that actually make us happier, more fulfilled?
Well, the data from the book's early seminars is pretty eye-opening. They surveyed people across all sorts of income levels, asking them to rate their happiness 1 to 5. The average was consistently around 2.6 to 2.8, barely above, basically, regardless of income.
Really? So more money didn't equal significantly more happiness?
Didn't seem to. And when they asked, okay, how much money would make you happy?
What did people say?
Almost universally, the answer was basically more than I have now. Often something like 50% or 100% more.
So it's like a moving target, a happiness treadmill driven by just wanting more money.
That seems to be the implication, yeah. Chasing the material level alone might not get you there.
Okay, that happiness data is sobering. So if just getting more money isn't the answer, what's the practical takeaway from understanding all these layers, especially the life energy part?
It provides a kind of internal guidance system, a check for integrity. The source encourages asking yourself, especially for bigger purchases or life choices, is this use of my life energy aligned with my core values, with my purpose?
So connecting the spending back to what truly matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It forces you to see if your actions, your material choices, line up with your deeper self. It also reframes things like saving or even clutter.
Clutter, how does that fit in?
Clutter is seen as just accumulated life energy tied up in stuff that isn't actually serving you anymore. It's weighing you down.
Then the idea of enough, people often think that means deprivation.
Right. But the source paints enough very differently. Not as scarcity, but as this like wide, stable place, freedom, where you have what you need and you're not constantly striving just because the culture says you should.
Okay, so pulling back from just the dollar signs, looking at money through all these lenses, material, psychological, cultural, and especially that life energy trade-off. It's not just theory. It sounds like a practical path to aligning your finances with, well, a life that actually feels good and meaningful.
Absolutely. It shifts the focus, doesn't it, from just managing money?
To managing your life energy.
Precisely. Ensuring your financial actions reflect your true purpose and values. It's a profound shift.
Makes you think. How would looking at your next purchase in terms of its life energy cost change your decision? Maybe something for you to mull over this week as you navigate your own financial world.